Hello and welcome to another exam paper walkthrough. So I'm continuing with my EdXL series in today's video. Some of you might be aware that a few weeks ago I released a predicted topic paper ahead of the summer 25 exam series. So I spent quite a bit of time writing that paper based on topics that typically hit on paper ones. If you've not already done that paper and that video, I would recommend you do that first because this is a shadow version of that paper. So what I've done is I've taken all of those questions and I've just rejigged them a little bit. If you've not already done that paper, either of those papers, attached to the description to this video, you'll find a link to a Google Drive where you can download a copy of the paper and do it beforehand. There's also a copy of the problem pair version, which is where I've taken the solution for my original paper and combined it with the shadow questions just to give you a bit more structure for your own solutions. Again, I would recommend you do those papers before you watch this video. There's a copy of the paper. It's the one that says shadow rather than not the word shadow. Or the problem pair version. This will be relevant for the problem pair or the shadow, depending on how much support you want with the solutions. Again, like I said, this is for the June 25, and this is a paper one higher. So this is a higher tier. There are the foundation tiers as well. They're on a separate playlist and a separate Google Drive. Feel free to do whichever ones are most appropriate to you. While you're doing the video, I would recommend a bit of music on in the background. It just makes the papers a bit more enjoyable to go through. I always record these with some music on in the background. And if you find this video useful, please do subscribe if you like. And as soon as my paper 2 materials are released, you'll get notified. Right, let's start the paper. Okay, so let's start off. So question 1, solve 2x is equal to 10. So for this, we're looking at dividing both sides by 2. So 2x divided by 2, 2x divided by 2 would be x, and then 10 divided by 2 would be 5. So we're looking at x is equal to 5. Okay, question 2. By rounding each number to the nearest 10, estimate the value of 284 divided by 18.6. So to the nearest 10, that's going to become, I'm going to write it here, approximately equal to 284 to the nearest 10 would be 280. And then I want to divide that by 18.6 to the nearest 10 would be 20. So I'm going to go... I can cancel a 0 and then say it's 28 divided by 2, which would give me 14. Question 3. In a school cafeteria, snacks are chosen in the ratio of chips to fruit to biscuits, 4 to 3 to 2. Complete the bar chart. So we've got 4 to 3 to 2, and we've got the numbers 20, 15, halfway in between 14 and 16, so 15. So hopefully, if I've done this right, we're timesing by 5. So we need to, and that works for the middle term. And then we need to times by 5 here, so that would give us 10. So we need to draw a bar equal width that goes up to 10. So you're going to be looking like that. Question 4. By rounding each of the numbers to the nearest 10, estimate the value of 26 times by 16. So again, like with the last one, to the nearest 10, then 27 is going to be 30, and then 16 is going to be 20. So I'm going to be doing 30 times by 20, well 3 times by 2 would be 6, and then I need to include 2 zeros, so 600. Question 5. Jasmine records the weather over 60 days. The pictogram shows the results of rain, snow and cloud. Rain, snow and cloud. And we've got this key here. One of those squares will represent 4 days. So sun was recorded on 4 more days than fog. complete the pictogram for 60 days. So I need to work out the total that I've got so far. I'm going to do that by saying I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 full pictures. And I've got 2 half pictures, which would make another 1. And I want to times that by 4 to find out how many days have been accounted for so far. So that gives us a total of 11 times by 4. That gives us a total of 44 days. So that means that the total of sun and fog is going to be equal to 60 minus 44, which is going to give us 16. So I need to complete 16, but I've got this condition here. Sun was recorded on 4 more days than fog. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to say that if I take that 16 and take away 4 from it, and then divide that by 2, then that means I'm going to get 6. So I've got sun is recorded 4 more days, so I've got sun is going to be equal to 10, and fog is going to be equal to 6. So I'm just double checking everything that I've done there. Right, so sun is going to represent 4 days, so sun is going to represent 10, and each shape is going to represent 4 days. So if I do sun, 10 divided by 4 is going to be the same as 5 over 2, so I'm after 2.5 squares. So try and match as close as I can. I'm doing it freehand. Obviously I would encourage you to use a ruler. So that's going to be my sun. Sorry, 2.5. I've done 1.5. 2.5. And for fog, I want 1.5. So I'll show that though. Fog is going to be equal to 6 divided by 4, which is going to be equal to 1.5. So 1.5. It's worth just doing a double check. So this should all add up to 60, and 60 divided by 4 is going to be equal to 15. So I should have in total 15 pictures. So I kind of already counted these, adding up to adding up to 11. So 12, 13, 14, and then this final one would give me 15. And then sun was recorded 4 more, so I've got 4 more. Great. Okay, question 6. In this isosceles triangle, AB is equal to AC, and the perimeter of the triangle is 30 centimeters. Work out the length of AB. So I've not picked very good numbers here. So the perimeter is going to be equal to 30 centimeters. And we already know this length here is 10, so if I do 30 minus 10 and then divide by 2, because these are equal sides, that's going to give me 10 centimeters. So all the sides is 10 centimeters, so that would actually be an equilateral triangle. Should have looked at those numbers slightly better, but there we go. Question 7. Match each of the boxes on the left to the box on the right with the same value. The first one has been done for you. Okay, so this one, 3 over 4 is going to be equal to 0.75. We could say that that's going to be equal to 75 over 100, and that's a good one to kind of look whether we're going to have a percentage, fraction or decimal. So we've got that one would link to that one. 1/3, I know that third is equal to 2/6, and then 2/5, I'm going to say that 2/5 is the same as 4 out of 10. So 4 out of 10 is 40%, so that's going to be my matches. Question 8. 5 points are plotted on a centimetre grid, so we've got the 5 points plotted so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. The point of the fifth, the points are 5 of the vertices of a hexagon. Each side of the hexagon has the same length. Work out one possible coordinate of the other vertex. So we can kind of see that if we join these up, we can kind of get a feeling for it. So if that's my shape so far, we're missing one here. So that one would be there. I'm just kind of in my head thinking about the other one. So technically we could have gone for that one as well. I'm just double checking that in my head though. 3 and 4, 3 and 4. Yeah, so that one would work as well. But we're going to go for the most obvious one, which would be 10, 9. So 10 across and 9 up. Question 9. Work out the value of 4 plus 2 times by 6 minus 2. So we're looking at orders of operation here. We need to do our multiplication first, so that would become 3 plus 4 times by 6 is 24 minus 2. Then we do addition and subtraction in the order that they appear. So 3 plus 24 would be 27. Take away 2 would be 25. Question 10, work out 45 multiplied by 68. So whenever I'm doing multiplication, I like to have the larger number on top. That's my personal preference. So 5 times by 8 would give me 40, small 4 in the tens column, large 0 in the units column. 5 times by 6 would give me 30, plus 4 would give me 34. 0 then goes in the units column, so instead of times it by 40, I'm now times it by 4. So 4 times by 8 would give me 32. And 4 times 6 would give me 24, plus the 3 would give me 27. I then add my two numbers together. So that's going to give me 0, 6. So 3060. Question 11, work out. So we've got some subtraction. We can subtract decimal numbers. We just need to make sure that we line up our place values. So we can't take 5 away from. We can't take 7 away from 5. So we need to exchange. So 15 take away 7 is going to give us 8. 8 take away 2 is going to give us 6.0. So we're looking at 0.68. Question 12. Here is a list of numbers. Work out the median. So I'm looking for the middle value when they're in size order. So I'm going to put them in size order first of all. So 2 is my smallest value. I then have got 1, 3. I've then got 1, 4. 2 5s. 2 6s. Then it's 7, 8, 9. So 7, 8, 9. Double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 numbers. So if I've got 10 numbers, I'm actually looking for the 5th and 6th value. We could do this by topping and tailing, crossing them out in pairs. So I'm after the average of these two. And then the number halfway between 5 and 6 would be 5.5. So work out the mean of these numbers. So for the mean, I need to add them all up. So I'm going to add them in pairs. So I'm going to say, if I go back to the original numbers, 7 plus 3 is going to be 10, plus 9 plus 4 would be 13, 6 plus 6 would be 12, 5 plus 2 would be 10, and 5 plus 5 would be 10 as well. And then let's go, those would add up to 25, sorry. Those would add up to 20, and that would add up to 10. So if I add those together, I'm going to get 45, 55. And we had 10 numbers. So I'm going to say my mean is going to be 55 divided by 10. So my mean is also going to be 5.5. Question 13. Tom and Mia run a marathon race. Tom starts the race at 8:30. He takes 3¼ hours to finish the race. What time does he finish? So I'm going to convert this into hours and minutes. So that would be 3 hours and 15 minutes. And then I'm going to kind of chunk my way to my answer. So if I start at 8:30 and if I add on 15 minutes, that would take me to 8:45. And then if I add on 3 hours, that's going to take me to 8 plus 3 is going to be 11:45. And we'll put it in AM, so 11:45 AM. Okay, part B. Mia has a target time of 4 hours and 5 minutes. She has been running for 230 minutes. To meet her target, how many more minutes does she have left to finish the race? So I'm going to convert her target time into minutes. So that's going to become 4 times 60 plus 0.5. Well, 0.5. So that's going to be 245. So she's been running for 2 hours and 30 minutes. So if I subtract those 2 times, that's going to give me 15 minutes. To meet her target time, how many minutes does she have to finish the race? 15 minutes. Question 14. The time in Paris is 1 hour ahead of London. In Tokyo, it is 9 hours ahead of London. What is the time in Tokyo when it is 10 p.m. in Paris? So I'm going to go, I'm going to kind of do it like this. I'm going to say Paris to London to Tokyo. Right, to get from Paris to London, if Paris is 1 hour ahead of London, if I take a Paris time to get to a London time, so the time in Paris is 1 hour ahead of London. So if I wanted to get from Paris to London, I would need to subtract 1 hour. In Tokyo, it is 9 hours ahead of London. So in Tokyo, if I was in Tokyo and I wanted to get to London, I would need to minus 9. Which that actually means if I want to get from Paris to Tokyo, I'm going to be going the opposite direction here. So I would be adding 9. So then minus 1 and then add 9 becomes plus 8. So I want to go, what time is it in Tokyo when it is 10 p.m. in Paris? So if it's 10 p.m. in Paris, it'll be 8 hours ahead in Tokyo, so 10 plus 8 hours would be 6 a.m. So I'm going to go 6 a.m. Let's put it in slightly better format. Let's go 6 a.m. Question 15. For a set of 5 numbers, the mode is 5, the median is 7. Work out one possible set of the 5 numbers. So the median is 7, that means that we must have a 7 in the middle. And then we must have 2 5s. There's not a second mode, so I need 2 different numbers that are bigger than 7. So I'm going to go 8 and 9, but any other 2 numbers would be absolutely fine there. So for example, I could have had 8 and 10, 8 and 11, there's no maximum. Question 16, work out 2/5 plus 0.2, and all of these are decimals. So 2/5 is 0.4, plus 0.3 is going to give us 0.7. so 0.7. Question 17. Here is some information about the time spent on social media by 40 women and 40 men last week. I'm just checking in my head that I've got these right totals that do add up to 40. Do these add up to 40? They 10, 20, 31. They do, yeah, well done. I'm congratulating myself there. So tick one box to make each statement true. Three of the women spent more than 11 hours on social media. So yes, that one would definitely be true, because less than or equal to 11, so we've got at least 9 women. Three of the women spent at least more than 11 hours on social media, so that one's definitely true. The range for the men is 15 hours. So if we look at the men, if we look at what could the range be, could be 15? Yes, it could. If, for example, we had got, let's say, actually, let's look at that again. So, time spent in hours. So, 17, that's the very biggest it could be. And I'm going to say 2. Actually, that's definitely not true. Cannot be true. Because if you think about it, it can't actually be 2. The maximum that it could actually be would be 15. But we can't actually have 2. It's got to be bigger than 2. So it's got to be less than 15. So the range for the men is 15 hours. That cannot be true. Women have a higher median than men. So if we've got 20 and 20, our median is actually going to be where the 20th and the 21st fall. 20th and 21st. So let's just work out where that would be. So the median would fall in this group for the women, and for the men it would fall in this group. So women have a higher median than men. That one has to be true. That one's definitely true. Yeah, that one's definitely true. So I'm going definitely true, cannot be true, definitely true. Okay. Question 18. Reflect the triangle in the line y is equal to 2. So I'm going to draw the line y is equal to 2 first of all. That's going to be that line there. So that's going to be what's known as an invariant point, a point that doesn't move. So I'm looking 4 squares below the mirror line, 4 above the mirror line would be there. 4 below, 4 above. So that's going to be my reflection. Part B, rotate the kite 90 degrees clockwise about the point 20. So I'm going to mark the point 20 first of all, and then I'm going to think about the orientation. So if I imagine, and you can use tracing paper to help you with this. If I imagine spinning that 90 degrees clockwise, I would get the orientation would, just sketching it, would kind of look like that. So that point would point in that direction. So I'm going to have that orientation, and I'm just going to move one of my points. The point that I'm going to move is going to be this one here, because that one's the 1 down, 2 to the left would become 1, 2. So that point alone would move to there, and then I'm going to draw the same thing with the orientation this way around. So it's 2 and 2, so 2 and 2, 2 and 2. 2 and 2, and then 1 back. So that's going to be my 90 degree rotation about the point 20. And again, for both these questions, I would recommend you use a ruler. I just don't really have the function of a ruler on this application. Right, question 19. A regular pentagon has a perimeter of 90 millimeters. A shape is made by joining the square joining the square to the pentagon and work out the perimeter of this shape. Okay, so I'm going to start by doing 90 divided by 5 because that will give me each length. So 90 divided by 5 is going to give me 18 millimeters. So each of these sides is going to be 18. So because we've got a square here, you can kind of view it as, if I call them all X for now. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I need to do 18 times by 7. So 8 multiplied by 7, or 7 multiplied by 8 is going to give me 56. And then 7 times by 1 is 7, plus this would be 12. So I'm looking at 126. Right, question 20. Work out the value of t when q is equal to 5 and r is equal to 3. So that's going to become t is equal to 4 times by 5 minus 3. So that's going to become 20 minus 3, which is going to give me 17. And part B, work out the value of q when t is equal to minus 10 and r is equal to 8. So work out the value of q. Right, so let's substitute in then. So minus 20 is equal to 4q minus 8. So to solve this, I'm going to add 8 to both sides. So that's going to give me minus 12 is equal to 4q. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 4 to get minus 3 is equal to q. So q would be equal to minus 3. Question 21. 150 students were asked about the monthly cost of their phone contract. Okay, so I've messed up there slightly. That's not going to add up to 150, but that's okay. Right, how many more school students than college students were asked? So school students, we've got 120 that were asked, and college students, we've got 80 that were asked. So how many more were asked? 120 minus 80 is going to give us 40. So for part B, what percentage of the 150 students had a monthly cost less than £30? So I'm actually going to give you two answers here because I should have had this as 200. So I'm going to include the answer where it was 150, and I'm going to include the true value of being 200. So what percentage of the 150 had a monthly less than 30? So if we hadn't spotted that this added up to 200, we would have done 50 plus 40 is going to be 90, so it would be 90 out of 150. And then times that by 100 to get it as a percentage. So that's going to be cancelled down by 3 over 5 times by 100, so that would be 60%. That's if you've taken 150. If you spotted the mistake that I'd put there accidentally, I would have done 90 over 200 times by 100, which would be 45 out of 100, so 45%. So I've included both there. Apologies, I put these together fairly quickly so we had a chance for you to get some extra papers, and I'm sure that there'll be other mistakes as we go through. Right, question 22. In a game, 3 stars are hidden at random. Each star is behind a different square on the board. A square is chosen at random. What is the probability that there is not a star behind it? So 3 of them have got stars behind them. Then that would mean that if there are 25 possibilities, if 3 have stars, it must mean that 22 don't have stars. So 22 out of 55. Part B. In one game, the stars are behind 3 consecutive squares. So the squares are in one row or one column. One of the squares is at D3. So one of the stars is here. Write down all the possible pairs for the other two stars. Okay, so if I start by assuming that they're in this row, so it could be there or there, it could be there, there and there, it could be there and there. So it could be behind B3, C3, or E3. And those are all my possibilities with them being in that row. If I'm going in column D, it could be behind D1, D2, D3, so D1 and D2. We don't need to include D3 because it says the others, so D2, or it could be in D4, or it could be in D5. So D4 and finally D5. So there we go. Okay, question 23, x to y is in the ratio of 5 to 3, x plus y is equal to 64, work out the value of x minus y. Okay, so if we've got x to y in a ratio of 5 to 3, that means that we've got 8 parts to our ratio, and the sum of our parts is 64, which means that each part must be worth 64 divided by 8. So each part must be worth 8, meaning that my totals are going to be, actually, technically I don't need to do the totals, I'll do it though. 5 times by 8 would give me 40, and 3 times by 8 would give me 24, which does equal 64. And we want to do x minus y, so 40 minus 24. So 40 minus 24 is going to be 16. Question 24, solve. So to solve this, I'm going to times both sides by 9. So 4w divided by 9 times by 9 would just give me 4w. And then if we times this by 9, you've kind of got to imagine 2/3 times by 9, the 3's would cancel. So that would be 6. So w is going to be equal to 6 over 4, wrong way around. Over 4, which is going to be equal to 3 over 2, or 1.5, or 1.5. I'm going to go 1.5. Right, question 25. A large rectangle is made by joining 3 identical small rectangles as shown. The perimeter of one of the smaller rectangles is 14. Work out the perimeter of the larger rectangle. So to help me out here, what I'm going to say is if I call that length x and that length 2x, because I know that we've got an x and an x there, and we also know that that's equal to 2x. So the perimeter of the larger one is going to be a total of 2x. So I'm just kind of summing up. 2, 4 plus 6, I've got 10x. Now I know, so the perimeter of the larger shape is going to be equal to 10x. Let me just double check that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. And I know that the perimeter of one of the smaller ones, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I know that 6x is equal to 14. I want to build it up to 10x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, we'll say, so then x is going to be equal to 14 over 6. So that's going to be 7 over 3. So I want to do 10 lots of 7 over 3, which is going to give me 70 over 3. 3 goes fully into 70, 63, 23 times, with 1 left over, which is still divided by 3. So I'm going to go 23 and 1/3. Okay, question 26. Amy makes rose pink paint and cherry pink paint. She mixes red paint with white paint as shown. To make rose pink, red to white of 1 to 2. Cherry pink, red to white 4 to 3. She makes 90 litres of rose pink paint. To this rose pink paint, she adds 120 litres of red paint to 44 litres of white paint. Has she now made cherry pink paint? Okay, so if we start by splitting rose pink paint into the ratios to find, so I will call this rose pink, RP. RP is in the ratio red to white 1 to 2, and we want to split 90 into this, so there are 3 parts, so I'm going to do 90 divided by 3, so that's going to be 30, so we've got 30 litres of red and 60 litres of white. To this, she adds 120 litres of red, so if we look at added red to white, so I'm going to do 30 plus 120 is going to give me 150, and to white we're going to add 44, so that's going to be 104. So that's what's been added. Has she now made cherry pink paint? I could say no straight away, because this isn't a multiple of 4 and this isn't a multiple of 3. But what I'm going to do is simplify this ratio as far as I can. So obviously 2 will go into them both, so that would be 75 to 52. And then can I simplify by anything else? That's my simplified ratio, which is not the same as 4 to 3. Has she now made cherry pink paint? No, as 4 to 3 is not equal to 75 to 52. Question 27 then. ADB and CD are straight lines, so ADB and DC are straight lines. The angle ADC, so the angle A to D to C, is 4 times the angle C to D to B, C to D to B. Work out the size of A to D to C. Right, so if I call that X, that would mean that this one's got to be 4X. So that gives us angles along a straight line need to add up to 180, so 4x plus x needs to equal 180, so 5x has got to be equal to 180, and then if I divide that by 5, x is going to be equal to 36. That's not quite the angle that I was asked to work out though. I was asked to work out 4x. If we go 4x is going to be equal to 36, 72, 144. We don't need the degree symbol because we've got the word. Okay, question 28. In a bag there are only red, green and blue discs. There are 10 red discs. The probability of picking a blue disc is 0.5. Probability of picking a green disc is the same as that for a red disc. How many green discs are there in the bag? How many green discs are there in the bag if the total is 40 discs? So let's set this up with a bit of a ratio. Red to green to blue. We know that there are 10 red discs. red to green to blue. Probability of picking a blue disc is 0.5. So that should, so I think I've maybe messed up with this question. I have messed up with this question. Probability. Oh, okay. So the probability of picking a blue disc is 0.5. And the probability of picking a blue-green disc is the same as the probability of picking a red disc. So if we're going X and X there, this does work. It's just quite a straightforward question. It's the only issue. So how many green discs are there in the bag if the bag total is 40? So if the bag total is 40, it means that we must have 20, because half of them are blue, so we must have 20 blue discs. And if these probabilities are the same, that must be 10. So how many green discs are there? There must be 10 green discs. So I think I made that too easy for 4 marks, but there we go. Right, question 29. Here is a triangle on a grid. The triangle is reflected in a vertical line. So in a vertical line, 2 of the vertices of the triangle are at 8, 3 and 8, 7. So 8, 3 and 8, 7. Write down the other coordinate of the vertex of the reflected triangle. So we must have reflected it in this line here, half the distance. And we've got this point here, needs to be 3 further on. So we're looking at 11, 3. Write down the equation of the reflection line. So that would be y is equal to 6.5. Okay, question 30. In a right angle triangle, the two acute angles are in the ratio of 3 to 7. Work out all 3 angles in the triangle. So if it's a right angle triangle, one of them must be 90 degrees. So we then need to split the remaining 90 into that ratio of 3 to 7. So if we go 3 to 7, and we want to split 90 into that, so that means there are 10 parts, so 90 divided by 10 is 9. So that angle must be 3 times 9, which would be 27, and that one would be 7 times 9, which would be 63. So those are my 3 angles. Okay, and that brings us to the end of the paper. Before I end the video, I'll just bring up the grade boundaries, although that's for the predicted paper, not the shadow version, but it'll give you an idea. Okay, so that's the question level analysis kind of thing that I produced the original paper from. So the chapter will be so the video will be chapter indexed by the topics. If there was a particular question that you struggled with a lot on there, I would recommend a tiny bit of, well, an extra bit of revision before your exam. Other than that, we've got rough grade boundaries. Obviously that was for the original paper, that's not for the shadow version, but that will give you a good idea. Hope you found that video useful. Please do subscribe if you like, and you'll get notified as soon as any of my paper 2 material or paper 3 material is released. Other than that, I'm assuming that we're a couple of days away from the exam, if not the night before the exam, so make sure you get a good amount of sleep and get a good breakfast the morning of the exam, a little bit of light revision, a bit of a warm-up. So my school will be doing breakfast warm-ups. I'll produce and I'll try and put a video out for that of the ones that we've used, although there are some previous ones on my channel if you want to check those out. Other than that, good luck. I'm sure you will do exceptionally well, and I will see you soon.